of View with Nerd Street Gamers, your weekly dose of gaming news. I'm Darf coming to you live from a sleepy British township, and we've got some hunking good news for you this week, so let's get into it. In exciting news, Sucker Punch has announced that a free update to Ghost of Tsushima will be bringing in new content. This will be called Ghost of Tsushima Legends, and it's a completely free co-op mode being added into the game. It's new content, new gameplay based around an even more mythologically influenced Japan, and you'll be able to play online with your friends at no extra charge from the base game. So this is a truly exciting development for a game that hasn't been out very long, but has already blasted its way to the top of the charts and into the hearts of many gamers. But more importantly, in free co-op update news, it's Goose Game. The untitled Goose Game, which struck to massive critical and audience approval last year, coming out of nowhere with a delightful aesthetic and all sorts of fun, is bringing a free update to the masses on September 23rd, bringing in co-op Goose action. It adds a second Goose to the game, which you can play in local multiplayer with a buddy. The Goose has a new pronounced bump on its beak to differentiate it from the OG Goose, and apparently has its own honk noise. So that's really going to be taking the game up a notch. You can now play with a friend. In an unfortunate bit of news that's maybe becoming all too common, Arcane, the developer of the new game Deathloop, have announced that they're pushing Deathloop back into Q2 of 2021. It was originally slated to be a launch title for the PlayStation 5, but because of circumstances surrounding COVID and the ability of teams to work together, they've made the tough decision to go ahead and delay the game. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be expected, especially for AAA titles that require large teams of people working in sync, that COVID is just naturally going to lead to some delays. But on the plus side, folks, when we do finally get this game, it should be a proper, finished, polished project exactly the way Arcane intended it to be. In an exciting piece of internet leak news, we've got some new details about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered, specifically that everyone's favorite round, bearded comedian / rock and roll frontman Jack Black is going to be making an appearance as a playable character in the game. Specifically, he's going to be taking on the persona of Officer Dick, the hapless cop who's made an appearance in every single game dating back to the first, trying to chase the skateboarders down to little success and shredding around the park on his own as well. Now, this is kind of some expected news. He recently made an appearance hanging out with Tony Hawk with a bunch of the other skaters involved in the game, talking about the game's upcoming release, and it's been revealed that he was a huge fan of the game dating all the way back to its initial release back in the 90s. So he's certainly no stranger to the franchise, no stranger to the Tony Hawk echelon, but this may be the first time we actually see him hopping on the board himself. Now, he may not be the best skater in the world, but he is certainly a fitting tribute. So check it out when the man, the myth, the Jablinski himself hops into the game, hops on a board, and shreds some rails. Something for the radar this week, folks. We may be getting an announcement of a new Batman game, supposedly being announced August the 22nd, which is this Saturday at the DC Fandom event. The game is rumored to be titled Gotham Knight and will be pitting Batman up against the Court of Owls, a villain from the comic books that is an Illuminati-like organization that's been running Gotham from the shadows and should make a worthy adversary for the world's greatest detective. Now, it's been 5 years since the last installment of a Batman video game, so fans are eagerly awaiting this one. So stay tuned, August the 22nd, to see if we're gonna get one. That's it for us this week on Field of View with Nerd Street Gamers, your weekly dose of gaming news. I'm Darf and I'm hearing some menacing hawks getting closer, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear out of here.